right, so here are some of the relics that were found in very close proximity or in the synagogue itself, part of the lintel. And the very first thing I want to point out to you is this column over here. A regular column that has an inscription on it mentioning the name of Hadrianus Augustus. Now, why in the world is there mentioning here of the name Hadrian, the Caesar? He never actually came here. The reason being, this is a Roman milestone. The Romans used to measure distances using the Roman mile. And every mile they placed a stone. And it has an inscription because it is centrally located alongside the Via Maris, where most of the travelers will see it, thus honoring the Caesar. Onwards, next to it, notice this stone with an engraving of a menorah. This is one of the oldest engravings of a menorah ever found, and it is proof that this was a public Jewish structure, hence a synagogue. Let's continue. Notice over here that we see different geometrical figures and flowers and products of the earth, and even, what's that over here? A Star of David. Definitely a Jewish symbol. Now, what don't we see in here? We do not see in here any engraven images, because it is written, "Thou shalt not have another God, that shall not make engraven images." What we do see here is a common Jewish motif that is called eggs and spears. Come closer, notice egg, spear, egg, spear, egg, spear, and onwards. Eggs symbolizing the birth of a new life, and spear symbolizing death, the circle of life and death. Let's proceed. Here's a Jewish amphora for the storing of wine. Onwards we continue, and we see here another column with a capital on the Corinthian style. And notice that in the very center of it, what's that we see over there? Another menorah. And if that's not enough, notice that to the right of it, we see a ram's horn, a shofar, that Jews blow so as to produce a sound that will tear open the heavens for their prayers. We see over here that looks like the synagogue that we just visited. Notice it, there's columns and doors and a roof. But wait a minute, it's on wheels. This is actually a depiction of a very important event, because in one of the battles of the Jews against the Philistines, the Israelites lost the Ark of the Covenant. And ever since the Philistines had it in their possession, they started being stricken down by plagues and diseases which they could not explain. Until one of them said, well, maybe it's the God of the Hebrews that is taking vengeance upon us. And they decided to put it to the test. How? They took the Ark of the Covenant, placed it on a carriage which they hitched to two cows that were nursing their calves. They set the cows free, but kept the calves. And naturally, the cows should have made a U-turn and have gone right back to their suckling calves. But instead, the cows headed straight back to the camp of the Israelites, returning the Ark of the Covenant. And David brought it to Jerusalem. It was in the temple, disappeared with the destruction of the temple by the Babylonians, and finally discovered again about 20 or some odd years ago by Indiana Jones. And the very last thing that I want to close with is this column over here. This column is very special because it says on it in Hebrew that any Israeli kid could read. It says, Alphaeus, the son of John, the son of Zebedee, made this column. May it be for him a blessing. And the key word is, of course, the name Zebedee, because in what we read before, it says, and going on from there, he saw two other brothers, James, the son of Zebedee, and John, his brother, in a ship with Zebedee their father, mending their nets. And he called them, and they immediately left the boat and their father and followed him.